from Core Potentials Academy. Here I am again for another one of my tea time talks. It's day 25. We're almost over here, guys. Gosh, 5 more days, and I think you're only going to see me one more time after this for our kickstart to healthy habits. So today is my talk on finding your ground. So what about that moon last night? That super moon. I think we're supposed to be able to see it for the next day or so. It was unbelievable. So super moons in general, a full moon. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that, there's more sort of emergencies, more kind of strange behavior happens with the moon. You have more people, mental health issues going on, people have trouble sleeping. Why is that? Well, the moon has an electromagnetic pull on it that very much makes people feel restless and maybe possibly a little ungrounded. It's pulling on the earth, and we are very connected to the earth. Our bodies, which have energies that run through us, we couple to the earth, and the earth's ions filter up through us. So grounding is a really great thing to do at this time when there's a supermoon. So some signs of being ungrounded might be that you're kind of spaced out. You're distracted, you're maybe overthinking, you're a little bit reactive. Things that can really unground you are, being involved in personal dramas. You're having a fight with your boyfriend, your fight with somebody, and they upset you. Well, this can literally unground. I know for myself, if I've had a fight with somebody I care about, I have a very hard time thinking of anything but that. And if I was in the middle of a meeting or whatever, I would be very distracted. That is a sign of being ungrounded. Anxiety, worrying, fretting, all of these things are signs that you are actually ungrounded. Most stress and anxiety results from a disconnection from our bodies. And the more we're actually in our bodies and grounded, the less stress and actually anxiety you will feel. So some physical signs of being ungrounded: chronic inflammation, poor sleep. Like I said, I got up in the middle of the night last night because that magnetic pull of the moon literally ungrounded me a little bit. Chronic pain. When we have chronic pain, we end up with stiff muscles. And with stiff muscles, you can be assured that the meridian energy lines are not flowing properly through your body. You've got the stiffness is creating blockages of where you've got gaps, and so you're probably not grounded. Poor circulation. That's a great sign of being ungrounded. If your circulation isn't actually, you got cold hands, cold feet, that's a sign that you're probably not having energy flowing off of those, and those meridians are kind of stopping before they actually get to where they're supposed to go. And that's a great way of being ungrounded. So right now we're on our computers a lot. There is a great teacher, an energy medicine teacher out there right now named Prune Harris, who I have just actually purchased her practitioners how to handle being on the computer too much. But she also has a free one, so I'll make sure to put that in the comments for you guys to go to that, because it is a great wealth of information. But one of the things she recommends is that when we are at the computer, that we should basically get up and move after 30 minutes. If we don't move, and she is one of those amazing practitioners that can actually see energy. She says that she has not been able to see one person ever be able to sit at a computer longer than 30 minutes before their body starts getting a little bit discoherent. energy-wise. Now the reason for this is, believe it or not, especially if we're conversing with someone, or we're watching, gaming, if it's got adrenaline or any of these kind of things, or emotional, whatever, it even gets worse because we're actually connecting with the computer rather than connecting with the ground. And so the computer and you become this closed loop of energy, and your energy patterns get very discoherent. Another thing to recognize is that it is an electromagnetic field that is coming off of your computer, so you are interfacing that. So if you can stand away from your computer when you're watching something that is on TV, say you're watching Netflix on it or what have you, but if you actually have to be up at your computer, you should get up. I actually use this fabulous earthing mat. I actually put this on my table with my clients, because people who come in with inflammation will actually steal my ions from me. They'll because they need to have balanced energies, they'll actually steal from me. So by putting this grounding mat on my practitioner's table, it prevents them from doing damage to my body, and it keeps it to their own. I use this, I actually have a grounding sheet. I will put again in the comments where I purchased this. Again, I would recommend that you see a practitioner to find out if that is actually good for you or not. Some people, everybody's like a snowflake. We all have different methods of how we ground, and maybe this might make problems worse rather than better, so you should have that checked out. It's very easy to be kinesiology tested for that. But another thing to do is to think about is wearing actually natural fibers on our body. Synthetic fibers cause a discoherence with the electromagnetic field. Shoes, rubber-soled shoes, they literally, as much as they are fantastic for waterproofing, they literally put a barrier between you and the ground. So some of the best ways to literally ground yourself is to go stand outside in the grass with bare feet. Bare feet on the ground, and give yourself a good 10 minutes of, standing out there if you can, taking deep breaths in. Breath is always a great way to get your oxygenation moving and your energy moving. And you can just literally visualize yourself as you're standing on the ground, of your energies coming down your body and sinking into the ground. I've even gone so far as to put my hands on my body, and I literally will pat my body down, because I'm trying to sink the energy down my body, down, your legs, and you get right down to the ground. I'm gonna bend over right now, but as I get down to my feet, I might even give my feet a little bit of a squeeze to get them to, really be receptive to the earth ions. Going out in nature, in a forest, around trees, honestly, hugging a tree is one of the best ways to ground. You can lay your spine up against a tree, sitting there reading a book, and it has deep roots into the earth and its whole system. With you connected up towards its big tall trunk, and you lean against it, you will start to notice yourself calm down. You will literally feel way more peaceful, and this is a sign that you are becoming more grounded. So I have already talked to you in my Foot Love tea time talk about the spoon. Obviously spooning your feet, because spooning drops the energy down. Our blood that is in our body has a heme iron in it, and it connects. The stainless steel spoon will literally draw the energies down to your feet. I won't go into that as much as because I've already done that with you guys. But a couple of other ones that I really like to do is that belt flow, which I just said, where we bring it down and we come off of our feet and squeeze it. But then there's the wing cook. I am going to show this one to you standing up first. and then I will show it to you sitting down. So you take your hands and you bring them together. And then you literally put the back sides to one another, and then kind of grab them. And then you're going to pull it up to your chest like so. You're going to take one of your feet and you're going to cross it over the other foot. And then you're going to take 3 deep breaths, lifting your chest up. All right, so let's try that. And then let the breath out. And again. Let the breath out. And again. Let the breath out. So we bring our hands back out, we hook them, and then we hook them the other way, and we take our feet, and we take the other foot, and we bring that one over, and we pull this up underneath, and we do it again when we take 3 deep breaths. So I'm actually getting hot with this, which probably means I'm a little ungrounded. I always get a little ungrounded when I'm nervous. I'm not really nervous, but these lives, you never know if it's going to cut out on you or not. And so this is really helping to stabilize my energies back down, out of my head, and down into the ground and into my feet. Let's do it a 3rd time. And then we're going to take our fingers and we're going to put our fingers together, and we're going to take our thumbs and we're going to just put them to the center of our forehead. This is again the beginning of the bladder meridian, and it's the beginning of our nervous system. So this is just telling our nervous system that we would like it to, cooperate. And so we're going to take 3 deep breaths again, lifting up the chest. And lifting up. And then we're going to just grab the center of our forehead and we're going to actually pull out across the brow, taking the energy right to the edges of the brow. And you can continue with what's called a crown pull, where you literally are pulling kind of open the suture lines. This is actually another exercise, but the reason why I like to do it is that we're opening up sort of the areas where things can get stuck, particularly if you've been at the computer. You want to get that flow going through the body all the way around, and we definitely want that orbit, which is our aura, to be functioning properly, because if it's not, it's going to unground us. So opening up our head, pulling back on all the way through, opening up our hands, twisting anywhere there's a joint, on the ankles, and again the feet, which I talked about, that foot love, all gets that energy flowing up and around and through you. Now, a great thing to do as well after you've gone and taken the energy down off your feet is to actually put your hands on the insides of your foot and then bring them slowly up the body, right up like you're going to zip yourself up. This in itself, we can get very ungrounded just by having our aura open up. And by doing this zipping motion, we're literally closing up our ability for things to get in. And I like to do it both ways. We zipping up. All right, so I'm going to now just show you that Wayne Cook one more time, but in the seated version. I do find that I get stuck, the gallbladder line, which runs down the side of the leg, gets very stuck. And if we just put our foot up over our leg, and the leg that is going down, we're going to take the same hand onto the ankle, and then we're going to crisscross our arm over top. And we're going to just take 3 deep breaths. That's same thing that we just did standing, we can do sitting. I find that these muscles along the hips can get very tight. And this is one of the best things to do when I'm sitting in an audience and I've been tired and listening and I'm feeling like I'm going to fall asleep, or I'm like, just not being able to listen. This is a great thing to do for you can pull your leg up and really people aren't too bothered by it. So 3 deep breaths and then we switch to the other side. We grab our foot, same one, goes onto the ankle, and the whole point of crossing our hand over is so that our patterns are crossing and we've got our hand literally wrapped around our toes, where these are meridians that are meeting one another. And we're taking 3 deep breaths. And a third one. And always lift up between them and kind of rock forward. And then we bring our hands up to that between the eyebrows and pull up on it. This really helps to get the bladder on board, which governs our nervous system. And we do those 3 deep breaths again. Now, just doing this has literally calmed me down amazingly. So a great way to finish is by putting your finger, literally one of them, it doesn't matter which one, but I usually pick my third one, into your belly button. And you put your other one up on that third eye, and it's called the hook up. And you literally hook up with the 2 of them. And we do those deep breathing again. And as you're deep breathing, honestly, your mind is so strong that if you just imagine as you're taking these deep breaths, that the energy is running down your body and it's running out your feet, down through the floor, into the earth, and connecting to the center of the earth. This really helps to calm us down. You'll think better. You'll be able to converse better. You will be able to, absorb whatever you're learning better. Reading a book, any of these things. If you need to focus and concentrate, this is a fabulous way to get you back into your body and to make you more grounded. All right? So, that's it for today. We talked about the wing hook, the hook up, the spooning your feet, literally just rubbing across your body and bringing that energy down your body and off your feet, squeezing your feet when you get down there, rubbing energy off your hands, opening up all the sources of places that energy can get stuck, so that you're in your body, you're waking your body up and you're getting into your body. The hookup we end with. And then the best thing to do is get out in nature. Go step barefoot in the grass. Go and put your toes in the water by the beach. Get your feet in the sand. Hug a tree. Lean up against a tree. Very rooted. All right, so if you've got any questions, please make sure to ask. I will make sure to answer them. If you think this is something that is worth sharing with people, we would love it. We would love everybody to learn about these things. Tomorrow will be Krista again for food, and I think Brita is Friday, and I think that it's actually going back to Krista, and there's a reason for a bit of a shift in the schedule, because yesterday Brita couldn't, or on Tuesday Brita couldn't do hers, and so we switched. So you'll be seeing me closer to the end. So in the meantime, enjoy that super moon and maybe do a hookup while you're standing underneath it, and so that you're grounded. Imagine being in the ground, and we're going to talk to you again soon. All right? Happy